Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. Today's episode is a Christmas in July collaboration. I am so excited to tell you a little bit more about that later on in the video, and I am so excited for you to see these Christmas in July projects. If you enjoy crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider subscribing. And if you do like any of the projects from today's video, remember to hit that thumbs up. Let's make some DIYs. This cute little cutting board came from my local thrift store. I paid $1.50 for it. I have seen these in the antique stores. I have started to see them pop up in some thrift stores. You can get cutting boards very inexpensively at IKEA, also TJ Maxx or Home Goods. I've seen like quite a good display at a fairly decent price. Even Hobby Lobby started to carry some. So I originally wanted to paint this white, but my little brush there broke on me. And as I was getting another one, I decided that I didn't want to paint it, that I really wanted to have this have like an old farmhouse wood look to it. So I just took a baby wipe. My paint was still really wet, so I was able to kind of wipe it off. You can see it does leave a little bit of a film there, but it does end up okay when I put some wax on it to kind of stain it. Now, this is in no way going to be food safe. Where I did get it at a thrift store, I personally would not use it, as where I don't know the history of it. It's just for decor purposes only. So definitely keep that in mind as you're purchasing these. And then you can see I just put a lot of the antiquing wax on it. It's a very thick coat. I'm just using a baby wipe. You could use a sponge brush. However you wanted to apply this would be totally fine. But I did leave it a little bit thicker because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. Now, it did have some really good distressing marks on it. But if you have one that doesn't have that, like it's a brand new one you got, say at IKEA or Hobby Lobby or somewhere, and you wanted it to have kind of that old farmhouse look, I just like to take some needle nose pliers, and you can see I literally just, as Bob Ross would say, beat the devil out of it. I just bang it up and down, get some really good like pock marks in it, and then as you put your wax over it, you're just going to saturate those marks, and they're going to have a really dark color. And see I go over the edge to kind of give it a really good look there, like really distressed. So and that's kind of the look that I'm going for. So that's up to you whether you want to do that or not. Now we're going to decorate this for Christmas, and I have this cute little ribbon, this little gingham check. I thought it was really cute and Christmassy. So you can see I just use my little aim of flame there to kind of seal the end of the ribbon so it won't fray. And I'm going to wrap this around. So there's definitely going to be a back to this where it's going to be sitting up like on my kitchen counter or in my china hutch or something. You're not going to see the back, but I tried to match it up as good as I can there. So that way it would still look fine if you were to see it from the back. And I just thought that was a cute little trim on the bottom there. So now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to tie the ribbon in a bow at the top. And so I just do like a traditional old shoestring bow here. So you guys, nothing fancy with this. I just tie it in a knot first to get it on there. And then when I'm done tying the bow, I go ahead and trim the edges into dovetails. This ribbon frays really easily, so I did just seal those edges when I cut those little dovetails there. And then I just kind of, play around and fluff the bow to make sure that it sits how I want. And then I do end up gluing a little bit of greenery up in here. I'm just taking some picks that I had with some holiday looking greenery and just putting some hot glue underneath that. And then sticking the picks up, as you can see me here, and I grab some little berries to do the same thing. So as you're gluing it, you kind of can place the bow where you want it to. So if you want those tails to hit somewhere else, which I believe you'll see me do here in just a moment, you can put a little dab of glue underneath those, just a teeny one to kind of hold them in place so they're not kind of going all ski-wampus everywhere. So I love using ornaments to do different DIY projects with, or even just to use for tiered tray projects. So now that the ornaments are starting to come out in the stores, have a look at what they've got, kind of use your imagination, because there are tons of different hacks you can do. So I'm just taking this flat metal truck here, and I'm just going to glue it onto the front to kind of give this that old farmhouse look. I just love the red truck look. It's been popular for a couple of years now, and I'm still just absolutely loving it. So I just think this has a really good, you can see how cute this looks. I just think it's darling. Now I take a little bit of thicker twine, or you could use rope or leather, whatever you had, and just putting a little tie at the top there just to kind of make it look like an authentic cutting board. If you wanted to hang it from this, you could, or it would just be a piece just for decor purposes. But I absolutely love how this turns out. I think it is perfect for a farmhouse country Christmas in your kitchen. I think it's just, I love it. What do you guys think of this one? As you guys heard me mention in the intro of this video, this is a playlist collaboration video, and I am so excited to be part of this collaboration with such talented other creators. All themes are Christmas in July. I am so excited to see what each of these other talented creators have done for you. Down in my description box is going to be a link to the playlist. All you have to do is click on that link. I'll pin it in my comments as well, so it's easy to find. It's going to take you right to the playlist and begin playing. Today's playlist will include DIY Beauty on Purpose, Crafting Cousins, and Kathy Jo DIY. So again, all you have to do is click that link in my description box. I will also leave a link to all of these creators' channels. While you're there, say hello. And if you are coming here from the playlist, welcome. I would love to become Crafting BFFs. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you can craft together with me every week here on YouTube. And if you are returning or have been here before, it is so great to have you back. Let's make some more DIYs. I am just using a piece of scrap wood that I have left over, and so your measurements will be determined on what you have on hand or what you decide to use. And I found this trim at Lowe's. It's just like, almost looks like a nautical rope type of trim that I found. Guys, this is like 8 feet long, maybe. I think it was just maybe like $3 or $4. So I just measured the edges of my sign and I cut it down at a 45-degree angle. You could cut it out whatever angle you wanted to, but I'm just using a combination of wood glue and hot glue. I just thought, I've seen a lot of the signs with like the half beaded trim. I couldn't find anything like that, at least at Lowe's, but I thought this was really cute. But I've seen a lot of signs with this on the edge of it, and so I just wanted to figure out a way that I could easily do it. And so if you had half beads and wanted to glue them around the edges, that would work too. It just takes a little bit of time to do that. But if you're at the hardware store and you happen to find some trim, go ahead and pick some up, because there's a lot of fun projects that you can do with it. Now, I did cut this with my miter box and hand saw. You could cut it however, if you had miter shears or if you have just like a regular miter table saw, however you want to do that to cut your edges. But again, just wood glue and hot glue to glue all of the edges on. So I give this a coat of white paint. You could do whatever color you wanted. I just go all over the flat part of the sign here, and then as well as the trim, and just make sure that I have full coverage. It takes about 2 or 3 coats to get the coverage that I want. Right now at Dollar Tree, they have these darling little wood cutout words. I found this one that said believe, and I picked up a package so I could have it for some Christmas projects. I just found this in the last couple of weeks at Dollar Tree, so if you haven't seen them yet, hopefully they're coming to your Dollar Tree, so keep your eyes open for them. And I just take a baby wipe and some red paint. I am using chalk paint to do this, but acrylic paint would work fine with the same method. And I am just rubbing it on all of the wood to get that red there. I thought that would pop really cute on the white. And so now I wanted to distress the sign, because you know I love Farmhouse, and so I distress everything. This is completely a matter of personal preference, but how I achieve the look that I get is I put a lot of antiquing wax on the trim there, and then I take a clean baby wipe and I am just going over to wipe off all of the raised areas. And I even, as you can see, go at a slant there to get, if I don't want it as dark in between all those little nooks and crannies, I just go off to the side. And then you keep having to get a clean baby wipe to kind of wipe it off the base of the sign, because once your baby wipe gets saturated with that wax, like you're just wiping dirt on dirt, if that makes sense, like wax on the thing, like it's not. So just know that it does take quite a few baby wipes to do this process here, but I go over all of the edges until I get that desired look that I want. It's really kind of fun to see it take shape with this. And again, I know that distressing or doing this is a matter of personal preference, so if it's not your style, obviously you would skip this, but I just love how it brings out that detail really well, and you can see that raised. That's part of the reason I wanted to do the raised trim on it. Now, what I'm doing here is I go back over it with a little bit of white paint, and this is almost just like dry brushing, so it's not a heavy coat of white paint, just kind of brightening it up a little bit, and it actually gives a really good contrast to all of that wax that's down in the little nooks and crannies there. So you can kind of see the difference that looks, and I feel like this gives it a really good high-end look to it. Now, I do go in and sand this little believe word here. Again, that's a matter of personal preference, and I just kind of distress it because I just love that farmhouse look, and I love that kind of old and vintage feel. I'm just using some gel super glue to glue this on. I felt like hot glue on the back of letters dries way too fast before you can get it placed, and it kind of gives it like a raised look to it. So I kind of prefer using a little bit of super glue for this type of project instead. And I just eyeballed. You can measure, do whatever method works best for you. But I just kind of used my fingers and eyeballed it there, and I think I got it pretty good. But I think this is so cute. It is so simple, just the believe. I mean, you could deck this out with any bows or put a cute little ribbon hanger if you wanted on it. I just think it will be so cute on one of my shelves tucked in there, and we all have to believe in the reason for the season. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi, because I do love meeting new friends. I got this darling little house at Dollar Tree. It was part of their nautical line they had in the spring and summer this year. I think it's absolutely darling the way that it is, but I do love kind of giving things a makeover, as you know, and so I'm going to make this a little bit more Christmassy. Now, that roof came right off with just a little bit of love and just a putty knife underneath it. It came off so I could put it right back on. I'm just using some white buffalo check, white and black, because that matches my Christmas decor. The fun part about this project is you can do whatever type of craft paper you want, whatever design. You can even make this for any time of year. It does not have to be Christmas. Now, I love using the Elmer School glue stick. There you saw the purple glue. That if you've been here for a minute, you know that that is my most favorite method of getting paper onto things. And then you just use an emery board to file off the edges so it gives it a really crisp, clean look. So I just used some hot glue to glue the little roof back on there. And then I thought to add a little Christmas touch because it was a little bit bare from what I'm wanting to do with it. I had this little like holly sprig here. You can see the package there. It came from Hobby Lobby. I just thought it would be cute to glue a little bit like mistletoe at the top of the house there. Now this little wood cutout comes from Dollar Tree. So I just painted it white and then I printed a little design on tissue paper. Now I love printing on tissue paper. I'll link in my description box the video where I give you like step-by-step instructions on how to do that so you can kind of see. But you could cut a design out on a cutting machine. You could use water slide decal paper if you're good at hand lettering. Whatever method you want to use to get a design on there, or leave it plain, tie a cute bow on it. Anything's going to work for what you want to do. For the tissue paper method, you just use some decoupage after you've printed your design on tissue paper, and you just gently press it down, working from the middle out, and then you'll go back over each of the edges with some Mod Podge. I use my brayer here. You want to be so careful when you do this because you could rip that design still because it is very delicate. And then you just go over it with some Mod Podge to seal it in, and it is so easy. Again, I'll link that video down in my description box if you're curious on the whole process on how to do that. So I like to do a little bit of three-dimensional look sometimes when I'm gluing pieces together. So I'm just gluing a couple of tumbling tower blocks on the edge of this heart, or on the back of the heart, excuse me. So that way it pops out a little bit from the house. Now, once I got done with this, I kind of wish that I had moved that heart a little bit up. So I know it's maybe not the best placement, but it was glued down pretty good. I didn't want to have to tear it apart to do it. So if you're not a fan of where it's glued on there, I know. But it looks okay. I mean, in the end, it's okay. But since I did a three-dimensional look to it, I just take some of these little greenery picks that I have here and some berries, and I just tuck those in behind the heart on the side to kind of cover up a little bit of that negative space there where that plaid is, kind of bring a little bit more of a Christmas feel into it. It kind of softens it a little bit, I think. So I just thought this was cute. I love that little saying, "All hearts come home for Christmas." I thought that was super cute. And again, sticking with the red truck theme, I love that. Now, some of my berries had a little bit of the red part scraped off. So just a little touch of red paint will be enough to kind of cover that up. And I like to add a little bit of dimension. So I just took some antiquing wax and went around the edge of that heart to kind of give it a little bit more of a dimension rather than just the stark white. But all in all, I think this turns out really cute. I love the saying on it. It will be darling for a Christmas tiered tray. What do you guys think of this one? I had so much fun making these Christmas in July DIYs. I know it is so hard with triple digits and summer still here to kind of think about Christmas, but it was kind of fun to take a break and kind of think about the fun and the anticipation that comes with that. You know what, guys? I would love to know what type of temperatures that you are dealing with down in the comments. So let me know. We've been dealing with triple digits, definitely. That's not uncommon for where I am at, but I would love to know what type of weather you have had so far and if you are dying of the heat. Remember that this is a collaboration. There will be a playlist link in my comments and down in my description box. So if you click on that, you'll see all of the other talented creators' Christmas in July DIYs. I'm so excited to see what everyone else has created. As always, I want to remind you to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.